Hello and welcome to CWU TV News. Coming up this month, pay deal reached at O2. BT closed Barrow and Furness call centre. CWU backs Ken Livingstone and the union attends Guildfest and Tolpuddle. But first, after months of tough negotiations and securing a 3-year pay deal worth 9.3%, CWU members have voted yes to back the deal, which will see employees represented by the union receiving a pay increase in their wages this month. We spoke to Andy Kerr, CWU Deputy General Secretary Telecoms, about the result.
Well, it was a very good result. I mean, it was a good turnout, 62% turnout, which is big for a consultative ballot on pay, one of the biggest we've had for years. And the overall result of those voted, 86% voting in favour of a pay deal. I think anybody would be really pleased with that, and I'm really pleased with that. So it's been a good result all round. I'd like to take this opportunity really to thank people, not only to those who voted yes in this ballot, but those who voted yes for industrial action. Had they not voted in that ballot, we wouldn't be able to get BT to turn around and give us this offer. So, a big thank you to our members. I think it's the first thing. What does it mean to members really is the situation is that in August, the end of this month, in their salaries, they'll get the 3% pay rise, and it's backdated to the 1st of January. So, hopefully a bit of money for our members. We've worked hard over the last period of time, and hopefully they'll enjoy it.
Labour leadership candidate Ed Balls has backed the Keep the Post Public campaign after his tour of Scotland. With the backing from the CWU, Ed visited post offices in Dundee, Edinburgh and Glasgow, and then joined in a debate at the city's university. He urged people and local politicians to back the campaign to keep the Royal Mail in public hands. Following his national tour, the ballot papers for the leadership will be sent out on the 1st of September, and the winner will be announced at the Labour Party conference.
Well, I think it's great that somebody of the stature of Ed Balls is backing the campaign. Yes, we're backing Ed for the leadership of the Labour Party, but I think he's also doing what he said he would do. He isn't just saying he supports us, he's actually demonstrating by being in Scotland, by being in Wales, by being in Basildon, by travelling the length and breadth of the United Kingdom and supporting our campaign, and I think that's fantastic.
According to a recent YouGov poll, 6 in 10 voters believe that the Royal Mail should remain a wholly publicly owned organisation. We caught up with Billy Hayes to find out more about the campaign to do just that.
Well, a YouGov poll which shows the overwhelming majority of people opposed to privatisation, with only 15% of the British public supporting this idea of privatising Royal Mail. That's good news for people who want to safeguard their postal service. We're in a good position in terms of the arguments against privatisation. It just seems ideological. There's no sound reason now why to privatise Royal Mail. Certainly the British public don't want it. People who work in the industry don't want it, and it's not necessary. So, the poll certainly does reveal what we know, speaking to people on the doorstep. And let's not forget, post women and post men speak to more people in one day than any chief executive or government minister does in a whole year.
To find out more, visit the Keep the Post Public campaign page on the CWU website. CWU members have backed by 4-1 a 2-year pay deal at O2 worth 5.25%. The pay deal is worth 2.5% for the majority of staff this year and is backdated to the 1st of April, and a further 2.75% from 1st of April 2011. The deal also saw a breakthrough on pay progression. Employees at the mobile firm will see a rise in their August pay packet.
It'll mean for members, they get what is a reasonable pay settlement this year. It also gives a degree of stability for next year because it is a 2-year deal, and we now hope that we can put that issue to bed. It's been one that's going on for almost exactly 8 months, the longest negotiations that I've been involved in, and I think it is testament to the union's tenacity that we have actually managed to more than double O2's initial offer. So I'm really pleased about that, and our members are pleased as well.
After nominating Ed Balls for Labour leader, the union is backing Ken Livingstone as the Labour candidate for Mayor of London. CWU says it's impressed by Ken's pro-job campaign and positive outlook for London in the face of government cuts.
We're backing Ken because he's pro-jobs, he's pro-dealing with the housing crisis in London. And we're backing Ken because we think he's a good candidate Ed Balls is backing Ken, Ken's backing Ed Balls, and we're backing both of them.
BT has taken the decision to close its Directory Inquiries call centre in Barrow-in-Furness, affecting up to 52 jobs. CWU says it's angry that BT has failed to identify alternatives to keep the site open and says the closure and job losses will hit the local community hard.
I'm certainly not going to sit back and allow 52 people in Barrow to be thrown in the scrap heap. These people are given a lot of work and life in some respects to BT, and they deserve to be treated better than BT Retail has done it. And we'll be making sure we do everything that's possible. And if that means, galvanising political support, local support for that, well, that's what we'll do. But I can assure you we'll be campaigning for jobs to go to Barrow, and I'll be confident we will be able to do that over the next few days and weeks.
CWU General Secretary Billy Hayes has paid tribute to Scottish Labour Movement leader Jimmy Reid. Mr Reid, who died earlier this month, was one of the leaders of the Upper Clyde shipbuilders work-in 1971, in which thousands of workers took occupation of 4 Glasgow shipyards threatened with closure. Billy Hayes explains why Jimmy Reid was such an important figure in the Scottish Labour movement.
Well, I think we've learned from Jimmy's actions is that what you do matters. We're not spectators, we're actors, and what we do matters. And when the Upper Clyde shipbuilders were due to close, it was Jimmy Reid and others who decided that they were going to be masters of their own fate. So the message, I suppose, is we make history, sometimes not in circumstances of our own choosing, but we can make history. And he certainly did that, and it shows with the turnout in the funeral what a big man Jimmy was.
CWU Legal Services is encouraging members who suffer from tinnitus and deafness and who use oscillators and amplifier tone sets supplied by BT to contact the union. CWU are concerned that many BT engineers may have been negligently exposed to high noise whilst using the equipment. Tony Rupa, head of Legal Services, explains what to do if you feel you're eligible for compensation.
Members can either contact the Legal Services Department Director or the CWU Accident Helpline. What they shouldn't do, there's a number of firms who are currently advertising in the media who are not on the CWU's panel solicitors, and they're advertising to run these cases on a no-win, no-fee basis. This means that members, if they lose the case, they don't have to pay anything. But in fact, if they're successfully winning their case with these firms, they will then have to pay a fee to those solicitors. The benefit of using the CWU's panel firm is that there's absolutely no fees whatsoever, irrespective of the outcome of the claim, and all the costs are underwritten by the CWU. Those of our members who've registered their claims with firms of solicitors who are not on the CWU's panel, what we would suggest is that they reconsider their position, and if they wish to contact the CWU helpline, we can give them some further advice and assistance. It may well be that we can transfer their claims to the CWU's panel firms. They can contact the helpline on 0800 804 6674.
And finally, CWU hit the festivals during the summer, with union activists taking the fight against public service cuts and Royal Mail privatisation to Guildfest. They also joined a lively march at Tolpuddle and attended the Durham Miners' Gala. Tony Kerr, CWU Senior Deputy General Secretary, explains why festivals are a great way to increase people's awareness of trade unions and politics.
What we found, particularly at a festival, is you get more younger people than older people. We noticed in the audience that attended the 3 talking sessions that we did. We badged the sessions "Let's Talk About," and it was let's talk about young members, let's talk about spending cuts, let's talk about keep the post public. And we found that the audience was predominantly younger people who traditionally hadn't been exposed, if you like, to trade unions, and it was a good way of mixing music, because we had music playing in the tents, to mix music to get younger people in to understand the work that we were taking part in.
For more information about any of these stories, please visit the CWU website at www.cwu.org. Until next time, thanks for watching.